Hey everybody, it's Zip. So this is the Sunday with Stann Still. I'm gonna let him introduce himself again so y'all get familiar with knowing who he is and what he does.
Hello, how y'all doing? I'm Sam Lee with Stand Still, a brotherhood of gentlemen, and my mission in life is to hold ourselves accountable and put together a group of us as men to be aware of life and how life works. Talk each other off the ledge. Make sure we don't get into anything that we got business getting into because it can happen quick. Us not being able to call on each other and just being able to trust each other, I think is something that we don't do as men. And to me, I have no shame in telling my brothers to look other places other than somewhere we don't need to be. Because we all know it's easy to get in trouble, and we all know it's hard to get out. My thing is with that is if we live the lifespan of a puppy, there's no telling what we can get away with. But we don't. We live in America, and we have to hold ourselves accountable for every action that we make. If we make the wrong moves, we just need to own it, correct it, and move on.
All right. Y'all heard him what he said now. Y'all heard him what he said. So we actually had a different topic, but then talking sometimes you get into another topic. And so I think it's very important to have a male's point of view on my show because it's mostly women that be on here. It's men that come on sometimes, but mostly that's the interview. But I think it's very important. So I have invited Sam. Stan. I always want to call him the business name. I do that to everybody. So all the time I have invited Sam to come monthly, and then we share some topics so that you see somebody who looks like you, because that's important sometimes to certain people, because it's like almost like, how can a woman say that? But now you see it's a man here. So, so it's a woman and a man saying it, which is good. So our first topic we wanted to talk about was cycles. And I'm gonna kind of let Sam head this up because although women go into cycles, our cycles sometimes don't go as deep as men's cycles do. Um, so, and um, we don't have the peer pressure that men have. A lot of times women have peer pressure, but if they really want to get out of it, they will, because the peer pressure don't be that deep. But for men, it goes a little bit deeper. And so if Sam could just explain some of the cycles that he thinks or that he feels or he knows that men go through.
Well, one of the things I want to mention, and I'm going to leave names out of this simply because I don't want to get anything started. Being that stuff like this goes public, and I know we ain't that big yet.
Right.
So people hold on to information and they dig and they dig and they dig. So I will leave names out for the safety of others. So when I talk about stuff, it's going to be real events that has occurred that you might not have gone through, but somebody else is.
True.
So my understanding of and what she's talking about cycles, when we come down to life. Like I say, we don't live the lifespan. We have to hold ourselves accountable for all actions. And there's a particular kid that was getting in trouble in school. And he would go and visit his brother that was locked up. He enjoyed going to see his brother. The problem with that, with what I'm trying to do, I'm gonna eventually make this bigger than the water. But what we have to understand is when we have a family member that's locked up, we enjoy going to see them. And if it's a little brother, so we're going to use little brother and we're going to see that little brother. What happens is, with this particular kid, he really enjoyed going to see. Well, he was getting in trouble at school. He didn't care about getting in trouble at school, which was an issue. He was being raised by a single mother. Him going to see his brother, he really had a good time, and he really missed him. So me explaining to him, when I talked to him, we walked around the neighborhood a couple times. When his dad would come, he would get upset. Well, what do you want to do? He wants to play basketball. I want to play basketball so I can show my dad. Well, I don't know if it was the wrong information or the right information, but I explained to him. I say, the truth of the matter is we don't choose our parents. We wish we could, but we don't choose our parents. You have to want to play basketball because you love the game. You have to do this for you because he may never show up. But him being upset and going to see his brother, him getting in school, he's already angry because his dad wouldn't show up. I explained to him, trying to get my story correct. But this is my take on it. So I won't go into deep details on what I told him, but this is my take on that situation. Him going to see his brother is not a good look because he sees the beauty in being with his brother because he missed his brother. The bad part about that, him getting in trouble at school and not caring about certain things in life, that's what he would end up, is with his brother. So that cycle of us going to see our loved ones and having a good time when you're at a young age, which he was, I think at the time he was in middle school. Mm-hmm. Him going to see his brother, we can allow the ones that are getting in trouble to allow our family members to come see us, that minds are
impressionable.
Right. Uh-huh. Because that makes him, if he get in trouble, it end up with his brother. His brother didn't explain to him how terrible it is being like
that. Okay, so basically, like what you're saying is it becomes a cycle because, okay, I see my brother in here, or, if you don't have a brother, you have a cousin. I'm going to see my big brother, my big cousin, or whoever I'm going to see. Yes. I'm going to see them constantly in this place, but I'm still getting in trouble. You know what I'm saying? Right. And they're not really telling me nothing to support me. They kind of asking me what's going on outside, and you know what I'm saying? What people, who you beefing with, who your ops is, they're not really telling you any encouraging things. So what you're saying is that makes them open to that cycle of, I want to be just like this person. Or this is a cool space to be in right here because this is what my big brother at, and my big brother held it down. You know what I'm saying? So that gives them the mentality. So then basically what you're also saying is the people who are not doing what they're supposed to do, because maybe they're not in jail, maybe they just not living a proper life. You know what I'm saying? Should let the people know, basically like, hey, I'm not doing something good. I'm not in a good place. Don't come see me in this place.
Exactly.
Okay.
Accountability.
Okay.
If I know I'm doing something I shouldn't be doing.
Right.
To me, for my children and the people around me, the people that care for me, mm-hmm. they genuinely care for me.
Right.
So I'm here for them.
Basically, like, show me you care.
No, me, myself.
Right.
I'm here for them. Mm-hmm. So anything I do will affect them.
Definitely.
So that's my thought process. I need to stay out of trouble because I have people that love me, don't want to see me hurt.
Okay. Okay.
And so that's why we need to think as, not only just as men, but as an individual, how it is important, how, at the end of the day, the people that's in your circle, while they get in trouble,
everybody's affected.
Everybody is affected.
Everybody's affected. No matter what you try to, no matter what you try to do, and no matter what you try to say, everybody's affected by the things that you do. You know what I'm saying? Whether it's hurting them, whether it's being an impression on them, whether it's making them look at you, it's still affecting other people. So I can understand that. I can understand that. What do you think are some other major cycles that people go through? I know, like going to the jail and constantly seeing your brother and sister, but what do you think are some other cycles you think people go through?
Death. Um, that's life changing.
Right.
It can be life changing because you go from one I won't call it extreme, but life changes overnight.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and you miss these, especially the ones that really care for, you know, the people that's in the circle.
True.
I know it's kind of it might sound a little rude or it might sound a little harsh, but my mentality, we can't stop what we're doing because
True.
we don't want to make life worse for us.
Right.
Because at the end of the day, who you pay rent to, who you pay your current bills to, they're gonna want that money. And
Right.
each one of us that are employed by someone else, yes, we have grievance days,
Right.
which is fine. But on top of that, we can't stop moving. My mind is the clock doesn't stop.
Right.
I have to keep going with the clock.
Mm-hmm.
That makes me sound a little insensitive, but the clock, it doesn't stop. And what happens is in life, we know if we fall back on whatever we stop doing because something happened drastic in our life,
Mm-hmm.
that snowball happens. If that snowball gets bigger and we get put into this hole, then it's harder for us to get out of that hole.
True.
Which could put us, I won't call it depression, but it'll put us at a state of mind of what have I done?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And that makes you not care anymore. You
Right.
still have people in your circle that love you. So you have to keep going.
Right.
And I'm sure the people that are no longer with us, they don't want you to stop. Right? You have to keep going.
Right.
Grieve, do what you have to do, but keep going. At the end of the day, who you pay your rent to, they don't want to hear that someone passed. Right. That's part of us keeping our life together and don't do anything that we really should be doing. Small thing, we might have a bad habit running traffic ambulance.
Right.
So we keep getting ticket after ticket after ticket because we have excess dollars. Now you're throwing away that money, but if you stop working, if you're living from check to check, what happens is you put yourself
back some spaces.
Right. So now you got to work double time, and if your mind is on your family member, which it does happen.
Right. Right.
And I understand that because it is a real thing. When you lose someone, you do hurt.
True. You do hurt. I think as I'm with you, like you have to keep going. You know what I'm saying? But I always tell people, like, be gentle with yourself when you lose a family member or when you lose somebody close to you. Be gentle with yourself, meaning yes, you have to keep going, but don't allow yourself to sink into a depression. You know what I'm saying? Don't allow yourself. And when you feel yourself getting there, you have to remember. I love what you said, that you have other people that are still here who care about you. You know what I'm saying? But I also tell people, y'all know I'm spiritual. So I also tell people, like, it's the body, the physical sense of that person that you miss, because the spirit is still there. You know what I'm saying? So you can still speak to that person as if you see that body. And they still hear you, and you can still feel them. Like people say, oh, well, I felt my grandmother's presence. You know what I'm saying? Or I felt like my auntie was, talking to me or whatever. But I'm also like a big person of, okay, being that missing, like that missing state, and deal with it when it comes, because it comes and goes. My daughter passed away in 2006, and so it comes and goes. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm able to move, but I can remember when she passed away, and I remember not being able to do anything. I remember not wanting to get out the bed. I remember crying, in the tub, in the shower, anything that I did, I remember those days to this day. But I think that people forget that you're not going to get over it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's going to take a little time, but every day you have to get better.
So with that, the vacation that I had to work, that also goes with, life. The people that are in the circle don't burn any bridges. So if you burn all your bridges because of your selfish act, and then when something drastic happens, then you have no life because
you pushed everybody away, basically.
Right. So why do you and I need to fight?
We don't.
I might need you, and not just in case something happens. You're in my life because we are good people. We have no business fighting.
Right.
So just being a good person in general in life, it helps you get along. It will help you if everything that you do in your life, you come up, everything is going smoothly. Not saying that things don't happen. The car might break down, but you have so many people that you can count on because you guys just genuinely have love. So I'm around the corner. Is there any way that I can come by and borrow spare time? Sure, come on over. But if I crack them, it's not.
It's hard for you. Yeah. And I think people do that in life in general, especially like when death happens, when they lose a job, when they have a lot of trauma from the back, they sabotage their life, and they end up pushing the good people out of their life. You know what I'm saying? I find it strange that you would say that, because I was just recently telling somebody, I said, I said to them, I said, I find it strange how you push you push all the good people out your life, but you keep the people who don't want you to go anywhere. You know what I'm saying? I said, I find it strange that you do that. And I asked them, I said, why do you do that? And the person said to me, I don't know. I didn't know I was doing that. And I think that self-consciously and consciously, people do that to one another when they're experiencing pain or frustration or the lack of, or depression.
One of the differences, I can't speak on every, but one of the differences between the way men think and the way women think, men don't care about certain things. Some things are irrelevant. I know this might be getting off topic a little bit, but you'll understand what I'm going. Men and women balance each other out. If I'm a guy, you won't see anything on the walls.
True.
When a woman comes into play, the house looks great. What it does, it brings us at peace. So when we come home, we're at peace. Yes, we could survive in the desert because that's what we do as men. Our minds is, I don't need all this, I don't need all, but it keeps us. So the thought of the way men and women think, it's in our nature. That's why we don't crap on the people, because I may be hard and stern, and you're going to help me understand. That's just me keeping an open mind to the people that's in my circle. Like I say, we don't live the lifespan of others. So everything that we do, it might not affect us now, but it might affect us then. That's why we keep that now available, because we don't know what we're going to go through. And like I say, if we are stuck by ourselves, then we by ourselves. Like you said, that one person is why you push everybody away. Before the pandemic, and I forgot the numbers. Before the pandemic, 90%, more than 90% of Americans were born in a hospital.
Right.
You can't name one thing that's chaotic about being born in a hospital.
Mm-hmm.
It's all peace and love. You have people that come from out of town to come see
a baby born,
because that's who we are as people.
Mm-hmm.
We're born in peace and love.
Mm-hmm.
That's just who we are. So when you grow up to be a jackrabbit,
Mm-hmm.
and then you push everybody away,
Mm-hmm.
then you are stuck by yourself.
Mm-hmm.
If we was the life of a puppy, then yes, 15 years, then you know what, knock yourself out, do whatever you're gonna do, because in a couple years I won't be here anyways.
Oh, wow.
But being that we live averaging, 70, 75 years old,
Mm-hmm.
there's a lot that can happen in those days.
True.
It wouldn't matter if you had $1 billion. You can build yourself an island if you're up under a bubble.
Right.
That doesn't stop life from happening.
True.
You still can get sick while you sitting in that
Why
bubble.
you still exactly?
It doesn't stop Mother Nature.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't stop anything around you from anything happening. That's just how life works. We live a long life, and we're gonna see some things. And sometimes the older we get, the more wiser we get. So we're still learning, we're still growing. So I used to love boxing.
Mm-hmm.
I still like boxing.
Right.
But now as I got older, I think about the pain that these people are gonna be in as they get older, because they're not gonna box for the rest of their life.
Right.
And the memories that they have, I got some good memories, but now I'm on all this medication.
Mm-hmm.
I can't even walk and stand. I got bone spurs in my shoulder. I can't even lift a cup of water.
Right, because I done got my body beat up for so long.
We don't live the lifespan of it.
Mm.
So when I watch boxing, I haven't lately, but when I do see it, I see these small clips, and it just, it don't really bother me, but that's just life. I accept it.
Right.
I'm not mad, but we're gonna get older and we learn and we grow.
True.
So that's one of the things, at 53 years old, I've learned some things,
right,
which I didn't know back then.
Right.
I just enjoyed, knocking somebody out. Oh yeah, I was but that's a lot of the natures of men. Like say we could live in a desert, we could live in a box. As long as we got a little change in our pocket, a nice car, whatever, the house, and some of us like to, if we got the money, we could dress the house up. Mm-hmm. But women bring the peace in that. Mm-hmm. So that's where the balance of keeping me sane and keeping me out of caveman mode, right, because you're here.
Right. I don't know, because I don't know. I really don't know. I really be watching people in their relationships, and I be watching them, and what you see from the outside, or what you see when you inside, or what you hear when you inside. Lately I've been seeing this post a lot. It's been saying, what is it, like the era of I don't need a man or I don't need a woman is dumb. I need you and you need me. But people are still stuck in they still stuck in, they're like, oh, I don't do gender roles. I don't do gender roles in relationships. But you kind of have to in some spaces. You know what I'm saying? You have to consider where okay, so I bring you peace as a woman, but then as a man, what you gonna bring me? You know what I'm saying? Like you got the desert, you can live by yourself and you can push everybody away. And I'm still trying to bring you peace, but you still pushing people away. It's kind of like how long before we understand that we really need each other. You know what I'm saying? Like in what capacity does that start happening?
Well, I can't speak too much on cavemen, but back then, it was pretty rough. Mm-hmm. My opinion.
Right.
Men aren't genuinely passionate.
Mm.
Women bring men to that state of passion.
Mm.
And just my opinion too. That's why, some women like a roughneck.
Okay.
At the end of the day, as we grow and get older, when are you gonna calm down? Well, this is how you met me.
Mm.
Which is the same thing when women say, that what they've been wearing, or you met someone that was in a strip club. But this is how you met me. Well, women being at peace and compassion and just passionate altogether.
Mm-hmm.
Like say when you walk into a home that's dressed, that calms us down. By nature, I've heard, when I was in barber school, two of the women there were both pregnant at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
I asked them what they much rather have because they didn't know at the time. They say, well, we like to have girls because boys are dirty.
Everybody entitled to their opinion. Everybody's entitled to their opinion. So I understand.
The company, I haven't done the research, but the company that used to make Tonka trucks made millions because we are dirty.
Mm.
We know us as guys. And yes, we might be dirty. Jump off the subject. So back in the day when we used to work on cars, my brother and cousin would tease me because when I worked on cars, I always wore gloves.
Right.
And my thing was, I wear gloves when I'm at work, so when I get home, it doesn't feel like I got on gloves.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Women are, in my mind, women are beautiful.
Right.
Me coming in and touching you with concrete hands, in the long run,
right,
as we get older, our skin gets a little tougher or gets a little thinner.
Right.
I want my hands to feel because where I am.
Mm-hmm.
So
basically, like if you're a man and you're out and about, you're doing your thing, working on cars, taking care of stuff, you in the desert. Like basically that's the desert mind state. I'm cool, I'm chilling, this is what I'm doing. But then when you come home, your expectation is to be in another capacity of home.
I'm no longer caveman.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's what women do. Because women are naturally passionate.
Right.
It brings us a peace.
Understand.
And everybody knows, wars are caused by men. That's because we're territory.
Mm-hmm.
And in some states, women can go places that men can't go.
Right.
Because a lot of us men are pigs.
Mm-hmm.
That's why Victoria's Secret is a multi-billion-dollar corporation. Because men are visual. So women go on places that men can't go. They will survive quicker than men will.
Mm-hmm.
Because men are territorial.
Mm. So when you're saying territorial, and maybe this will help me with this thought, I always have an issue with people that only stay in their communities and don't go outside of their communities. So is that because this is where I'm from, this is where I live, I'm not moving, I'm not going nowhere, this is where I'm dying? Is that because of the territorialness in the man, or is that just fear?
I won't necessarily say it's fear. When we're comfortable somewhere,
Mm-hmm.
And I don't want it to sound bad, but when you are closed-minded, what you do.
Mm.
You only go with what you know.
Okay.
You have some people that drive older vehicles that refuse to give up that older vehicle.
Right.
Because they don't want to try anything new because this works for me.
Right. Right.
And being in that neighborhood, and I believe also is part of your you being career driven.
Mm.
And if your finances doesn't allow you, and everyone you know. So when I was in high school, I went 1 year. I got perfect attendance.
Mm-hmm.
That's called my principal.
Right.
I saw no reason to skip school.
Right.
So in a sense, as we get older and we don't want to leave, this is where all my folks are.
Mm.
But the world is so much bigger than that. When you expand your mind, I've watched some celebrities when they've gone out of the country, the minds, I won't say the minds are blown, but just from their response to what they've seen, I can't say that.
Right.
But I wasn't there, but they were amazed at what they saw.
Right.
I have family members that do travel and they love it. So you have to get outside. And why we don't, it might be fear.
Mm-hmm.
It might be financial reasons. I didn't set myself up to do these things.
Right.
So if you okay with working at the 7-Eleven,
Mm-hmm.
then you already know your finances is not going to take you that places unless you get with somebody. And sometimes if you got with somebody, now this is, somebody's beyond, what you can handle as far as finances. But some people see you're not good enough for me.
Right.
So say you got someone to work at 7-Eleven, say somebody that,
Mm-hmm.
that doctor saw a good person.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So that doctor show you bigger. Some people just need to be shown other things. Because once you get, like prisoners, what they call it when you institutionalize.
Institutionalized, right.
That's all they know.
Mm.
Not saying that they're afraid, but they've been there for so long, they're okay with where they are.
Wow. I get so frustrated because I'm like, why are people okay with the minimum? You know what I'm saying? When you could put yourself in circles where it goes beyond the minimum. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, do you really want to see yourself in a better position, in a better state? Like, do you really want that? Because it's like you either gonna continue to do this one thing, or you're gonna open your mind, because it is about comfortability, is about being closed-minded, being comfortable in the state that you're in, whether the state is good or bad. I guess my thought pattern is that you just don't get comfortable, you know what I'm saying, until you achieve whatever it is you're gonna achieve. At that point, you can get comfortable, but you don't get comfortable in the same state over and over again.
Well, and you should read the room, as far as the people that's in your circle.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I'm okay with you using me.
Okay.
For your benefit.
Mm-hmm.
Because if I know you and you're in my circle, I don't see you as using me.
Right.
I see the people that I'm with growing, and I'm okay with that.
Right.
So us feeding off of each other, and that's because the only way we're gonna be able to see some things and do some things is, of course, everything takes money.
Right.
And if you can elevate,
mm-hmm.
by all means, if I got you, don't worry about nothing. I got you. Let's elevate.
Right.
And would I ever get upset if something don't work out? I can't get upset.
Right.
Because me as an individual, you are in my circle, we don't have to. I know you are a good person. Otherwise, I would be there.
Right. Right.
So
right.
I want you to elevate. And if it's elevating without me, by all means, then, knock yourself out.
Mm-hmm.
Have a good time. I want to see you grow.
Mm-hmm.
And that's anybody's business.
Right.
That even goes down the board. Sam, do you have an idea? Of course. I had a guy, this is a while back. He was me working in a machine shop. I didn't know if he knew how to weld, so I saw him.
Right.
I've always wanted to learn how to weld.
Mm-hmm.
He flat out told me no. He said, just in case if something ever happened, this is one more reason for the company to keep me over you.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not mad at you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. But that's his mind. And I don't operate like that.
Right.
Because for me, we're all going to eat.
Regardless.
Regardless. And if we're in each other's circle, I'm glad you. Mm-hmm. But I learned how to weld in. And when we did shut down the dye shop, it wasn't my company. But when the company did close down the dye shop, but the factory remained open, I was the only one out of the machine shop that they kept. And I think me and my boss at the time, we just had a good relationship. I had nothing but respect. Why? But anyways, and I learned how to weld.
Right.
I mean, I was doing every weld you can think of, besides underwater. But I just don't believe in older people from growing.
Right.
Grow and let's see some things. Let's do some things, even if you're with them.
Right. I think that's important. I think that people. I had a thought this morning when I woke up, and I was gonna post it on my thing on my Facebook, and I was gonna post basically like, ask yourself when you see somebody else growing and excelling and doing things, ask yourself, when you're looking at them in despise, or you're finding something negative about them, or you're acting like they think this one word that I can't stand when people say is, oh, they think they all that. You know what I'm saying? Because really, you're supposed to think you all that. You're supposed to be confident in who you are. But ask yourself, are you watching them because you're jealous? Are you watching them because you want to learn? Or are you watching them because you just want to find something negative in somebody else instead of dealing with what's going on inside of you?
That's all that is.
Mm-hmm.
Because for me, Cat Williams.
I love Cat Williams. He is funny. He is funny.
And he said it best. If you don't have haters, you're not doing your job. Mm-hmm. That is true. But in another sense, in order sometimes to get what you want, you might have to step on a few toes. Mm. So if you and I got the same skills,
right,
and this company is filled with 50 men, no women, mm-hmm. they're gonna hire you because of what you're gonna bring to the company.
Right.
You're gonna bring that woman's feminine energy.
Right.
In a sense, you kind of still stuck on my neck. I can't be mad at that. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. The only thing I can say is I need to step my game up. Mm-hmm. To make me, why did I go to a company that's filled with men? And I know that there's a woman, especially with the way I think. Right. I just have to step my game up with them. I can't be mad. That's, even when people is talking about Mexicans taking over jobs, that means you just have to step your game up. Right. That's all it means. Right. And you can't be mad at somebody doing something that you ain't no good at. Mm. Or you're cheap labor. As Americans, we are spoiled to a certain financial income. Right. Right. I'm not doing this for that amount of money. Mm. He gonna do it. Right. So why are you upset? True. True. I mean, because really all it's telling you that is that maybe that job is, or that, just using that as an example, that situation is over right now, and now you need to go higher. You gotta elevate
and I wish people thought like I wish a lot of people thought like that, because I think that we just sometimes I think we're stuck in this mindset of I'm just comfortable. You know what I'm saying? Like this is what I'm gonna do and this is what I've been doing. It's almost like you trying to help somebody. They've been going in a cycle of life, never being able to get up, never being able to turn around or nothing for I don't know, we'll say 7 years. 7 years they've been going in the same circle. And then you come in and you try to genuinely support or help them, or but then they kind of like step on your neck. And I get it. Sometimes you are going to step on some necks without knowing it. Because I go into a company of men, yeah, I stepped on a couple of people's neck because I've used my me being a female as an advantage. You know what I'm saying? So that's understandable, but not intentionally, just basically like, hey, I filled out an application for the job. I didn't know it was 50 men and no women. Well, here I am. But when you go in and try to genuinely support someone and help them, and then they kind of like, they still don't get it. You know what I'm saying? They don't get it. Or they've been going in the cycle for like many years, and you go in and you try to offer support, and they try to find something wrong with you.
Of course, of course. And if a company is looking for something,
Mm-hmm.
If it wasn't meant to be, it wasn't meant to be.
True story.
And that goes with everything. I would talk about lemon laws farther back today, but that's the hand you're dealt with.
Mm.
Can you elevate that? Of course you can.
Right.
That's what we don't live the lifestyle.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna grow, learn, and we're gonna try to elevate.
True.
And if we don't, we stay back here, and I'm mad at you because you got something, because that anger is not doing you good.
There we go.
You need to do something about it.
There we go.
Pick yourself up. All right, you know what? Hey, Zip, how did you do it?
Right. Right.
There ain't nothing wrong with that. I can't be mad at you. I might be a little salty at the company because, man, forget him. But at the end of the day, the company's got to do its thing.
Mm-hmm.
And Zip, can you give me some points? Well, I noticed your pants were a little too short. And you came in a 3-piece suit.
Right.
And you had some ketchup stains. Okay, you know what? Yeah, absolutely right. Mm-hmm. That's not anybody's fault except
but your own fault.
But I can't get mad for not losing, missing out. I just have to step in. Mm. I have no business being mad at you because at the end of the day, who I pay electric to, I can't call them and say, I ain't get the job because I don't care nothing about Zip.
Right.
What you gonna do to get my money?
Mm-hmm.
You know what? It's not on Zip.
It's on you. It's on you. So it circle back to the cycle being the main thing of getting out of a cycle is taking accountability.
Life, we have, once we reach a certain age, depending on where we want to work, we have a certain amount of time to get our act together so that we can retire at a fairly young age. Mm-hmm. Bouncing from job to job to job to job to job, and finally, if you're in your 50s and you found a job that you really like, can you retire from that job in 12 years?
Wow. That makes a lot of sense. You cannot retire. Well, no. I mean, you could retire, but you're not going to get what you would have got had you found stability early on.
For that 30 to 35, 40 years. Mm-hmm. Right. So, like the military, if I tried going now, they're like saying, yeah, we can use you, but you ain't getting no retirement, and you 53 years old. But we can still use you, but you know what I mean? So so we have that window to make some things happen. True. And that's when it comes down to, try as parents, as we raise our kids, you have this window to make this happen. Mm-hmm. So that way, when you reach this window, you can retire at a comfortable age. Right. You don't want to be in, and I love everybody, but you don't want to have to
Mm-hmm.
be 70 years old and back.
No.
Because you done played so much with your life. Now you're 70, you have to go get a job to make ends meet.
True.
Because you done played and you done screwed around all this time.
Right. I'm a big promoter on moving forward. I always tell people, if you fall in the situation, like you're going from job to job to job to job to job to job to job, you're doing all of this stuff, you need to go and start where you need to figure out where this all started happening. You know what I'm saying? Don't go way back, all the way back there trying to figure all that out. No, figure out what happened right here so you can move forward. Because me personally, starting completely over with stuff is putting you back time. You're already back time. You know what I'm saying? And you're already trying to play catch up. Now you want to start from the beginning? No, you cannot start from the beginning. Whatever happened in the beginning, it's over with. Now let's start from where you left off, so that you can move forward and excel through life. And I think what happens is a lot of people go all the way back to the beginning. There's nothing you can do about that. But what you can do about in life, in job, in business, in character, is start from where you left off. If I go out today and people don't know me at this age to act out, I go and I act out and somebody film me. And I want to see, and you call me like, Zip, they got you on the internet and you cutting up. The only thing I can do is apologize for acting up and move forward. I can't go back and tell y'all all the good, because people gonna hold on to that negative thing. Forget all the positive that I have put out into the universe. Forget that. They're gonna hold on to that one thing that you did negative. And so then they're never gonna see me. Some people gonna be like, girl, we studying you. You know what I'm saying? We know that person must have got you out of character. But people who don't want to see you grow or don't want to see you go to the next level, they're gonna make sure they share that video 20,000 times.
In some cases, because we are here in the U.S., like say, we were born in peace, in love. We live like a Portland.
Mm-hmm.
And we already know when we send our kids to school, behave.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
If you get expelled, you're going to get kicked out of the school. You get expelled here, you get kicked out. So we live like a Portland.
Right.
We go to church, we expect them to act. Mm-hmm. We go to the grocery stores. You got football players that get out of character and lose almost everything they got because this is just the life that we live. Mm-hmm. So, what were you talking about?
Just people not being able to move forward in life, to elevate, to be able to elevate.
Yeah, you have. I keep going back to it. We don't recognize that. Mm-hmm. So if we screw up, it's just gonna hold it back. And sometimes we think the grass is green on the inside. Mm-hmm. So, do you want that gold Rolex at the end of the day? Mm-hmm. So you got to put the work in here.
Right.
Whatever it is, because we live averaging 75 years old. Do you want that gold Rolex at the end? And what is that gold Rolex? That gold, I can retire peace with the people I love.
Right.
And if you keep people in your circle that's confrontational, that's, you know what? I can't say that because I don't live with people
that are competition.
Right. Mm-hmm. So I can't say some, like a real husbands or real housewives of,
of Atlanta or something.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. That's just a few minutes of their life. There's no way it's possible for these people to fight that much and still be around each other. Mm-hmm. Because you can't get anywhere if you're always fighting.
Right.
But because we live like accordingly, that is what brings the hype. Because we're not used to seeing something like that, so we need some excitement because we live like accordingly.
Right.
If we lived in a country where there's gunfire every day, they look for the opposite of what we look for.
True.
They look for peace.
True.
So that's why even when people get to accidents, you got people rubbing it. Because even though we know there's an accident on I-4 almost every day, we still got to be nosy. Look. And my thing is with that, I'm driving my speed limit. The people that are in my circle, I know what they'll drive.
Right.
If I'm driving 75 and I don't see a gray Camry or a Suburban, I got to keep pushing. It's no sense in me looking, because if I know who you are and if I hear about it, yes, I saw the accident.
Right.
There's really nothing I can do, but me slowing up traffic, I'm going to cause another accident. But that's, in that excitement is what get things popping. Is it a shame?
For the moment, it be getting things popping for the moment, because now if you driving down the road and you rubbernecking, for the moment you like, oh, okay, and then you about to hit somebody in front of you, or you slowing down the traffic or whatever. So I can understand that. I just hope that my hope is that we, the people, get to the state where we decide that we truly want to elevate, and that we're elevating, that we're not being jealous of people or holding people down because of our elevation. Not only that, but that we are able to understand, like, you got to keep going.
No matter what. Holding on to anger, it takes too much energy.
Yes, I learned that. I used to be an angry person, and just learning through life, like, I'm still mad about something that happened 6 years ago. That's ridiculous. Let that go. You know what I'm saying? Because you can't do nothing about it. So how do you hold on to something that you either gonna let that beginning part go and start from where you left off and keep going, growing and understanding what happened in the beginning, and allowing yourself to, okay, this happened. Okay, so now I need to set these kind of boundaries. Okay, I need to have this kind of conversation, or I need to remove this person out of my space so I can go to the next level.
That comes with it's a process. And for me, I just accept so much. Right. It's really nothing I can do, a certain situation. So I accept that that's just part of it.
Right.
So fighters, they train. In their training, they have an arm. And they lose focus of what they need to do. They can get kicked in the jaw because I'm so mad. The one thing I see is red.
Right.
But we have to keep our cool in every situation. That keeps us from going beyond what we're trying to do.
I like that. Keep it cool in every situation. That keeps you from going beyond. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's true. That's true. I really like that.
We have to. Because at the end of the day, it's really not much you could do about it if it's out of your hands. And that goes all the way back to who you pay your rent to, who you make your car note to, all these bills that you got. If you lose focus of what you need to take care of on a regular basis, all that crumble. Now you're in a worse situation because I'm mad as it doesn't benefit me.
Right.
So, like, somebody can say something about my mother. Anybody can say anything they want to say about my family.
Right.
I know who my folks are. What you're saying to me doesn't bother me. If I was in elementary school, then that's different.
True.
That's how
because you're young. That's a kid trait. Right.
That's what kids do.
Get it.
But that tells me who you are as a person. You and I can't be in the same circle because your mentality, you bringing me here. I'm always here. I'm
always elevated. I think that's powerful that for people that can be always elevated. I think it's a powerful state to be in. I guess my big thing is I just want everybody to be at that state to understand, like, you holding on to anger or you being bitter about something for years upon years is not elevating you, especially if it's something that you cannot control or you cannot go backwards and change, because we don't have a time capsule that people can step into and decide, I'm gonna change this situation. But you being able to grow from everything that happens in your life, everything that happens in your life, because every day is a learning experience. You know what I'm saying? So you being able to grow from everything and move forward, not meaning move forward like I'm gonna beat somebody up or I'm gonna do this or I'm gonna do that and then I'm gonna feel better, because you're really not gonna feel better after you do it.
And that goes back to all the way back to the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
We were born a piece of love.
Mm-hmm.
If you love chaos, then you should be in a country where chaos is common.
Agreed.
Because for the most part, most of us, we don't have time for that.
Mm-hmm.
Going to amusement parks, being on a roller coaster, but being on a roller coaster every day,
no,
it doesn't work.
No.
So if that's who you are, if you are a roller coaster ride, you got my mind going nuts. I ain't got time for this. I need to get off this ride.
Right.
And if you enjoy being on that ride, then we were born a piece of love. We live like. So all this goes all the way back to how we were born here in the US. We were born a piece of love.
Right.
And that's it.
Excuse me.
There's no roller coaster ride.
Right.
And if you and that's my also my lack of understanding of mental illness.
Mm-hmm.
So if you genuinely have some issues, the people that's in our circles, we have to take care.
Right.
We should. And sometimes, we get tired of it, but when we go see a therapist to go see some help, that goes back to sometimes, yes, that's why I understand AA.
Right.
Because we understand things better outside of the home.
Mm-hmm.
Because you can't tell me that. I remember when you used to crap in your clothes.
Right.
I remember when you was sleeping with that boy and the girl at the same time.
Right.
Or I remember when you cussed out my mom.
Right.
Or I remember when you stole my cups. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
So you can't tell me anything. Right. I need for somebody else to help. So as long as we take care of those with mental illness that's serious, it's a challenge.
Right.
I can't speak on that situation because I don't have anybody in my family or anybody in my circle with any serious mental illnesses.
Mm-hmm.
But it goes all the way back to we live life accordingly.
True.
And it is a boring lifestyle, but it's what we're used to. So it's a life is a journey.
That's for sure. That is for sure.
And that goes back to if we lived in the same city, same county our entire lives, that's what you're used to.
Right.
You don't have to learn and grow and expand to see it. If you knew Johnny over there, we grew up together, he has no, okay, I can deal with Johnny.
Mm-hmm.
But what if Bobby, you move over to a different county, now you got Bobby and Frank.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, snap, I don't know them.
Right.
I need to go back to what I know. I'm moving back to my old county.
Mm-hmm.
But the world is so much bigger, like I said, in elevating and growing. If you genuinely have compassion for, what's his name? Frank? Bobby?
Yeah, Frank and Bobby.
If you genuinely got compassion,
right.
then you open your mind and understand, okay, yes, the world is bigger than Frank and Bobby.
Right.
Then if you go to a different county, oh snap, this is
Right.
serious business.
Right. Like it's really some stuff going on out
Right.
here.
And that's just how life works. So
Right.
elevating and understanding and just seeing how life works, you know, that's how minds just need to work.
True.
Because life is bigger than one individual.
True. That is true.
So being mad and all that, that's, you know, and we are human, so we are gonna go through something.
True.
But we have to keep it.
Have to keep
it. Because that goes all the way back to when you pay your bills to, you don't want to get the noise.
Right, because Mr. Caveman don't want to hear it. Don't want to hear it.
And not saying that you can't come home and unwind and go through what you're going to do.
True.
Go through what you're going to go through.
Mm-hmm.
But understand, this thing right here, don't stop for nobody.
For nobody. Time waits for no man. I be saying that all the time.
Period. So we have to keep going.
True.
To me, it's, you know, it's the must.
Definitely. Well, that's our hour, y'all. So, you know, usually we do like something positive, something to lead the people with a nugget. So you want to leave them with something to motivate them, get them through the rest of this day. You. Y'all see how he looked at me?
Yeah. Soon we're gonna have to talk about alphas, male and female. But what I can say about leaving out something positive is love your friends, love yourself first. You have to. That's the only way you're gonna be able. You know what? I take that back. You have to love yourself. Love your family members, love your friends, the people that are in your circle. Just grow and learn and trust each other and just being able to understand where they come from. Walking in someone else's shoes, don't judge them because you have no idea what they're going through. Just try to understand this is just life. Us as humans, we're going to go through something. And I've heard the saying about being hangry. Well, if you know that you are an angry person, if you are aware that you are an angry person, that's something that you can't fix. You have to fix that. Because now you're going to make everybody around you angry. And who wants to be angry with you? So we just have to work on ourselves, learn to love ourselves first. That's important. Love ourselves first. And how do we love ourselves first? We're going to save that for another day. Because I can probably go on for another hour. Because that is it's a process. Nothing that just happens. So love yourself, love your friends, love your neighbors. All I do. And I love y'all. Peace out.
All right, love y'all. So like I told y'all, I asked Sam to be on the show at least once a month because I don't want to stress him out because y'all know I'll be stressing people out. But at least once a month so that y'all can get a male perspective of things. And so tune in for our next show, Alpha Female, Alpha Male. Are you one? Are you not one? You know, let's really talk about it because I think that people have to confuse what an alpha male and female really is. So tune in for the next show. We love y'all and we will see y'all in a month. In a month.
2 days.